today to get some chicken patties. As you're walking to the cafeteria, you're momentarily blinded as you witness a second sun rising in the south. Then the shockwave hits, and there's nothing. A nuclear attack isn't something that we typically think about, especially it even being possible. With the last nuclear weapons being used over 70 years ago, it's not something that we think about on a daily basis. However, the possibility of a nuclear attack has increased over the past couple weeks. And this is due to Iran, who has recently been testing ballistic missiles, which can be capable of carrying nuclear weapons. So even though they cannot travel here to the United States, once they understand how to design a ballistic missile, it won't be long before they're able to create an intercontinental ballistic missile which can hit anywhere in the world. And this is something this is a thought that has struck me as an engineering student. And by performing these tests, Iran has broken a treaty with, or not a treaty, but a deal with the UN that they made. Iran claims that the U.S. sanctions placed on them broke or allowed them to create these tests. And in response to the tests, the Trump administration has placed further sanctions on Iran. So a couple months ago, Iran tested a medium-range ballistic missile, this has been reported by the NPR. And the Federation of American Scientists states that the range of medium-range ballistic missiles is about 1,000 kilometers to 3,000 kilometers, which for us Americans, that's about 620 miles to 1,800 miles. Now, it might be a little difficult to think about how far this distance really is, but this is a map with a radius of about 1,800 miles on it from Tehran, which is the capital of Iran. So if they were to launch a medium-range ballistic missile, they could potentially hit anywhere within here. A very close ally that could possibly be under threat would be Jerusalem. And Iran claims that they will only be using these weapons in self-defense. However, there have been multiple times in the past where Iran has supported terrorist cells and even helped fund them or give them weapons. So this really poses a threat to the Western world, as they could be giving, once they have this sort of technology, they could be giving things like this to terrorists, or even be launching missiles for terrorists or something like this. Now, the NPR also stated that the acting director of the Treasury Unit in charge of sanctions, John Smith, said that the latest sanctions did not violate the international nuclear deal reached with Iran in 2015, as what people originally believed. But it does go against a deal made with the United Nations, and this deal was supposed to restrict Iran from developing any sort of ballistic missiles capable of carrying nuclear weapons. And because of this, sanctions have been placed on 13 people and 12 countries, or 12 companies, that are connected to the Iran ballistic missile program. And the U.S. National Security Advisor Michael Flynn said that the U.S. would no longer tolerate Iran's lawless behavior following last Sunday's medium-range missile test. The sanctions on Iran that had been placed since 1971 will continue until December 31st of 2026. And it hopes to dissuade Iran from continuing any further development on intercontinental ballistic missiles. Sanctions have been placed on the nation by President Trump. Over Over 70 years ago, people of Nagasaki and Hiroshima felt the effects of weapons of mass destruction. We have been faced with a situation making such an event likely to happen again, yet even more terrible. We cannot and shall not allow such a thing